Okay, I was just shut off on a video. Okay, give me a second to come back. Okay, I'm doing this real quick. Number one, there's not 24 hours in a day. They've been screwing us every single day by 6 hours. So in a 49-year period, you're 10 years younger, coming out to number 39, which is happening right now. Number two, the trains, the hills are alive because they were going down shafts down near Germany. They were riding the trains to go down. They had poor souls that were farrowing the lands below. Just like they said about Moses, they were brought below the ground in this world. The ground, to get the ground beef out. And when they were finished, and they were all used up, and they fucked them, because that gave them the energy to go back and work, and they fucked everybody. Why? Because they needed to make more people down there. But when there's no light, and the spirit of light cannot come down unless you want it, they must get rid of the souls. So they drive them up, around, and around. And they drive them up. Here's the center, 888. They never go past the center. This is 111, 37 times 3 is 111, 35, 37, 39. Standards and force. Q and T. Keep it under the QT, that's the center. And then you have 18, which is letter R, and 21, which is letter U. The roads we travel. We never made it here in Monopoly. We're only running this small part over here. 1/4 of everything. We're living 6 hours every single day and basically not more. And most of it is in your sleep. Where they try to penetrate you. Because of the 1/4 of the thought that passage through the light, I call it the Viking light. Viking of the Minnows, Minnesota Vikings, Wisconsin. Something about that keeps popping up good. Keeps reminding me of the trains, like something's going to happen there. They're going to bring the trains and the people from underneath. Just like they did the Jews. They showed that they burned millions and millions and millions of Jews. Yet today, after 72 years, which is a complete cycle turnaround, there's only 15 million Jews in the world. You're telling me that, what did they do? They brought it down to 100,000 Jews in the world? How many Jews did they bring it down? Jew is a Jew, okay? It's the second and the last of all strings of 10-1, 10-2, 10-3, 10-4. In which 10-5 went into the center with 10-4 and brought in the new DNA. 10-1, 10-2, 10-3, 10-4, 10-5, 10-6, 10-7, 10-8, 10-9, 10-10. When you get to 10-10, that's 100. You made it from one corner to the next. Where is this train going around? Around Germany, coming into Germany, where the brain, where the central station is, and then to the outside of Germany to bring it into the Alps, of wherever they are. And they went down the mountains and down the mountains inside the core of the earth. The 16-hour day of 90 minutes an hour, 90 seconds a minute, 64 minutes is how it calculates. Inside the realm of 242 to the realm of 288 and plus whatever days you add on to the rest of the year. We're going around, my friends. These are the trains of Oshvits. They brought them down in the piping. They went down and up. The underworld, you see the claw? The way it comes through here, the letter G, the way the G is open. It's almost like we make it to this corner over here. Forget about this corner, it doesn't matter. This is the corner of birth on the islands. This corner over here, it says over here in the green, Pennsylvania. But over here in the railroad track, it says Pennsylvania Rail. Where is the freedom on a rail? You're either going this way or that way. You're not free until the train stops. So if we go this way, you end up picking up, if I remember, St. James, Tennessee, New York, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, the racetrack. Different racetracks to move the world around. That's the reason for Auschwitz. They weren't the Jews above the ground, they were the Jews below the ground. They just mixed up a few Gentiles who were gentle and Gentile of the reptiles and put in a few Jews in the top of the Jews that came from below. And then they went into that barn and they moved in from underneath the ground. Don't you remember Hogan's Heroes? Underneath the ground, they moved in. one Jew at the next, then they bring out the other one, they look all scrawny and they're ready to die. Everybody thinks they got zapped. They didn't get zapped at all. It was just underneath the ground, the nuclear power they're using in the bottom of the earth that killed all these people. Don't forget, in every different movie there's a different kind of war and a different kind of punishment. The hours are off. The time is off. And if you're 100 years old, you're only 80. But because of the triangle we are in, our age stops at 28, 29, 30 is creation, 31 is a whole circle. We shouldn't be older than 33. 3 and 3. Why? Because 9 ways of 3 is 27, and 9 ways of 3 is 27, is 54, that's one Rubik's Cube. Compared to the 9 legs of the cat or anything, you want to talk any number to me, it doesn't matter. I had to take this off my computer, you know why? Because the sky, Y, was separating and connecting K to P. Kilopascals, I'm not sure of the term. Don't forget, it's all science, my friends. It's all in one letter in the science lab. Whatever they put next to it, how you understand what world it is in and how this letter came to be if it was drawn the real way. We're on an angle, man. We're like this. When the rain comes in like this, we think it's the rain when it's us. The sky that is blue is the only thing that man never thought can be true, is to travel energy outside of an electrical wire, is to carry it, to force the sky to push down on the oceans all around the world. Is because the sky is an ocean and it's loaded with electricity and it can zap what it wants. Do you understand what I'm saying? The sky is blue because it's electrical blue, baby blue. I'm trying to get Mary, Jesus colors to prove all the horses, trying to pull all the colors together. But then the rainbow turns the blue a different color, taking out the electricity. That's how I figured that out, because of the green and the blue. Because of the yellow and the blue, the green ends up green. So how come we have a yellow energy and we have blue and we have no green? Because the green, okay, is pushed out by the negativity, because in wiring, the number 6 connection is green in pole 6 and 14, the Christ cross central connection. 6 central hookups. 2 coming in and 1 going out. One of them, one of us, one of us. We are indeed 2. We are one of the 2. We are 1 and 1. The sky only gets to be seen at a certain part of the night when they open up the sky to you, when they let you see what you want, what you believe is out there. The electronical arm which now runs in Oklahoma. You ever see this sign? You ever see this sign? Maybe I'll make it a little bit more clear to you, if I can do it. Pepsi Cola. Because this over here is a joint. Okay, what they call this is a core joint. And they can move this up and take this out. Whichever part is connected to the joint can move. If they keep the bar down here connected, and I'm talking about Andreas Falls, they call it the faults, but I call it the falls, that all it is it's a holding point. It's holding the earth in. The minute this drops, the mountains go down. You lose the highway against the water. Nobody has any passage through the mountains anymore, because everybody knows that one part of this world is completely to what I would call the God, and that's part of the hills. Because the energy, the reason they can have this energy and use it in the sky, is it ain't theirs. It's all fucking rented, my friends. The water that flows, the angles of this entire planet, is world space. And then they say, would you like some players in the space, and they call it the game. And before we came here, we were angels somewhere else, and we chose to come here. We just didn't end up here. We chose our entire life, but we chose it based on certain realities and certain realities that were not. To start to lose you in the small little booklet, a booklet for dummies, that come into this world and seem to know it all. Raphael 7286. If you want to know how the trains went around, I'm going to go start and study the map of Europe, because in Europe, in roulette, there's 1 0, but in North America, there's 2 zeros. Those are the 2 zeros where she is with us. The trophy is the baseball and the Stanley Cup and all the cups. Now the thing is, what has to happen this year is 2 teams have to split that cup. I don't know why. Maybe something's going to go on which is going to push game 6 or 7 into where the elections are, purposely, so that they arrive in the beginning of November, which is the beginning of the next month, because in reality, right now, I'm working with 0 October. There is no October. This is red October. We're back into one spot with 0 next to us, putting our mind back into a world that just keeps going round and round and round. There's spring, summer, winter, and fall. All you have to do is call. Spring, to spring into action. Then we spring into action when summer comes for the spirit. Not the minus spirit of the February, but the plus spirit. The spring, the summer, the winter and the fall is SS connecting you. So throw out the one of the S. We're going to call it autumn, autumn. We're going to call it summer, autumn, and winter. SAW. Saw. What I saw. If you read it backwards, it's WAS. What I saw was few. Fire, earth, water. Sure, it's hot, fire, earth, water. Sure, it's hot, fire, earth, water. Vibrating the words to go into the main system to reach the fire, earth, water God, to get you out of this. That's his connection of saying, I realize this is hot, but I'm busting my balls. And let me tell you one thing. If you're working for any of the evil right now, let me tell you how it works. There was evil, there was good, and then there was us. Right now they're in this big chess game, the evil and the good. What the good is trying to do is win our hearts back and bring us to the new world and the understanding of wisdom. This is the light. But at the same time the light is doing this, somebody has to run this make-believe place as reality. So the light tells the people of the governments, this is what we're going to do. Already knowing that the evil is going to start splitting up in man, because that's what it's all about. The light of God has brought the evil into power. They call themselves the Illuminati, but it's not true. It can't be true. The Illuminati is an association with the light. That's all it is. The Illuminati is to be the enlightened ones because they know about the light. But to illuminate of any Nazi add-on of IE is O, is EIEIO, and you are a victim of time. There are 90 seconds in a minute. There are 64 minutes in an hour. There are 16 hours a day. Remember that. Try and figure out why. You will see it will lead into the 613 of football, the 613 laws of Moses. It will lead into 216 hours, totaling 9 days and 1 day for the spirit light. Spirit light only needs 24 hours a week to come into this place. That's it. You are always meeting it outside. Your distance globe, your reach, your mind, your halo. So in all actuality, in a week, we're only using 8 hours of the light. That's it. Making up the 10% of what they call the brain. Going up and down on the system, where when you want to see the light, you can go either up or down, because it seems like the light is over here. Otherwise they wouldn't be working up here. The light goes here, and it goes around the globe, forcing the energy of the sky, They take the light, they re-reflect it off the sun. They create their own sun within a sun. Now when you look at the sun, you can't see it. When you stare long enough at that sun, you will see everything will move away from the sun, and it will go around the sun, and the sun will have no more glare. It will be a glow like the moon, but it will be an orangey glow. October 31st, and the numbers that I read within the numerologistical sense of everything says that November 4th and before, there must be some creation factors that come in because of the number 288. 288 is October 15th. 299 is the 26th. It's also called Earth Day. So they can't come on that day. That's not their day. Okay? The 26th is not their day. Their day is the 27th of October. And then if you drag that 10 days, you'd end up with 6, and you'd end up with 6 and 5, 11, 27th to the 30th is 4, or 3 days from the 27th, 4 days from the 27th, 27th is 4 days from the 31st, and November 4th is 4 days, 4, 4, 4. You connected all 4 corners, all 4 corners, all 4 corners, because I mentioned today, which is the day of Christ, 2310, at 10-7, which is a number we play for, we throw the dice. We mix up Monopoly and everything else, and I know I come out here and say a lot of things, but if you really want to know, come back at me, man, because there's going to be a flow. I get a flow when I get people coming in and asking me questions, not stupidity. I can't answer stupidity. I'm sorry if I see it that way. If you don't think it's stupidity, I always look inside the stupidity and see the word you chose, and then I make up another game within the word you chose. So it doesn't matter what you write me, good or bad, I'm going to look in the word you chose to write, because I'm going to know who you are by what you wrote. Raphael, 7286. And the constellation of Pegasus, just under the arm of the media, and at the bottom is Pegasus, my friends. Do you understand? Under Andro, the android of media, understanding her is below is Pegasus, and she's the word dog of all media, and she has one horn in the front of her head, and she is a straight arrow. That's why she's always running crooked on the racetracks. They run crooked because they know the true angle of space, 44, the distance of the empty space value, 44, Barack Obama. Number 26 on the Monopoly. Also included is number 25, roll from Go, is 51. 44. 44 and 7 is 51. 10 by 4 is 10-4. And 11 is 51. If you don't understand the numbers, I just want to show you where the taskmasters. Here's one tail of the snake. Here's the other tail of the snake. And the world does this on each other. The 5-4 of it, okay? Now I can't explain it. You see, we are 3-6. In between 3-6 is the life of 5-4. The letters are IT. It also says titty, because of the 4 tits of the cow and the 2 chews it cuds. Makes 6. We get buried at 6 feet down and 2 feet up, make 10 toes. The only time this hand is ever saying high 5 is when it's waving. It's going 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Train must be coming in. It's all full of 5s now. And when you have all 5s, you got a passage in every single world. You double them up, and that's all it takes. There's a lot of things I can say. There's angles, there's birth angles, there's creation angles, there's hours awake. 7296 is my number, is 7286. 24 hours into 832 is 30, makes 7200. 4 days into 4 days, I didn't write that right. 4 days into 24 hours equals 96, but it's 8 days, because when you come into the West, it's 8 days of 12 hours equals 96. Or we want to reach 86. So how do we reach 86? How do we reach number 86? 24, 24, 24 is 72. Oh, 14 more hours. 4 days, 14 hours. 4 days, 14 hours, 7286. That's the total number of hours that they're blinding us. Like in all reality, like I told you, we were not even the age of Christ. We never get to be that age, because then we would know it all. It would be 3 by 3. We'd end up at 32, we'd be on the train tracks, we wouldn't be deciding. At 31, we're at 10% of the mine, or $200. I'll take 10% of the mine and $200 and stop on number 31 of the alphabet. Instead of being center C, it'll either be B or D. The bed. The oyster bed. Then I can go so much more into that, but we're going to stop. The reason for 2012, okay, it's because it's 21, where did I mark this? The year is 21 something right now, in all reality. It's 100 more years older. I told you everybody's off by 10 years for the last, since 200 years when they set this thing up. So 210 is 70 by 30, which is a triangle. It also equals 3 creation, or 3-0, which equals 45, and equals to 1 angle of all. 45 angle on a triangle is just like this, and it crosses across the top to connect them, and that's it. You don't have to connect them. You can go right down the center and go this way. You can go right down the center and go that way. You can just follow the angle. Eight, 8, 8. 8, 8, 8. 8, 8, 8. 8, 8, 8. 8, 8, 8. 8. But if you cancel out the door over here into this 8, you got 5 and a 2. I'll show you. And that's all it keeps repeating. I made this wrong, I didn't go on this line, but 5 and 2 and 2 and 5 and 5 and 2, and in between, it's all 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, all the way down to the bottom. You're repeating the same fucking thing down a grapevine tree. That's all it is. Take me serious. I see and I know. I know what I see and believe in the numbers. And the numbers of what I see, put it into words, is what I tell you right now. I am one, and there is not one only of me. I am one of a big tree. I will take out my last stick and tell you the last tale. Or I bring you to the islands. The islands. See? And here's this island. See, look. There's nothing on it. Day and night. Day, night. Then they spin it around. And they go over this side. Day, night. Day, night. The night, the gravitational pull of the sky is purple. I'm not going to show you that whole thing, but right now, as far as I know, we're going to be saved by the Vikings. There's a whole doo-wop and doo-wah around Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Vikings, and their colors. It seems like they're going to have a playoff. Like I told you, the Illuminati is exactly in which is a soul that took on choice to call itself something rather than just knowing and leaving it alone. Join within the mind of the revelation, but don't put any more words on earth of definitions that people eventually grow up, and the children here, and now everybody is lost by the last choice of your definition. Once more, I am I what? Any more than